Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're keeping safe and you're home. I know everyone is on lockdown right now, and some of us might be finding it difficult to stay encouraged during this time. So I thought I'd bring you some challenges to help you stay encouraged and also give you a little push towards you working on becoming the better or the best version of yourself for yourself. So how it will work is I'll share my thoughts about that particular topic, and then we'll follow with the challenge for the day. I also include a quote before the video starts that speaks to the topic that we're talking about. So take what you need from these thoughts, take what you think will help you in your journey to becoming a better version of yourself. I hope you learn a thing or two, and I hope it makes you think about things that you otherwise would have never thought about during this time. Stay tuned, our quote is coming up next. Growing up, I've always heard the saying that it's important for you to treat the next person as how you would want to be treated. But I think as I grew older, I started noticing that we women, most of us at least, we find it so easy to forgive the next person, but we find it so difficult to forgive ourselves. It's easy for us to give someone else and not give ourselves, which is weird. I mean, obviously having a heart of forgiveness and giving other people is a good thing. It's a very good thing, but I think everything works in moderation, and for me the thought here is that the level of forgiveness that you have for other people, do you have that for yourself? How you give to other people, do you give that to yourself as well? Because you matter as well. You are also important in this as well. So the quote that I shared before this video started was basically asking you guys and me as well if our opinion about ourselves matters to us, and the things that we do to try and impress ourselves. I think, like I said, we put a lot of pressure on trying to impress the next person, trying to impress our bosses, our partners, whatever it is. But do we take time to try and impress ourselves? Do you dress up for yourself on a Monday morning when we used to go to work every day? But do you dress up to take yourself out for dinner or lunch or whatever it is? Like, do you care what you think about yourself, the thoughts that you have about yourself? I watched a video by one of my favorite people, Jay Shetty, and he asked a group of ladies a question about self-esteem, and he asked them to write down on a piece of paper, write down all the things that they have been thinking about themselves and the conversations that they have with themselves in their head. Write them down, list them down. So they list them down, and he then brings in their little sisters, and he says, read the things that you wrote down out loud to your sisters as if it were them. And you should have seen the shock in their faces, because they could not, it was at that moment that a light bulb went off, and they could not bring themselves to read out the things that they wrote down to their little sisters as if it were them. Because the things that they wrote down were the typical things that most of us tell ourselves, like, you're unimportant, you're unworthy, you're not enough, da 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 da. And for them to be able to read those things out to their little sisters and nieces and whatever was heartbreaking to them. And it made me, the whole point of that video was to say, be careful of the things that you tell yourself, be careful of the conversations that you have in your head, be careful of the worst case scenarios or the negative scenarios that you create in your mind about yourself. It's important for us to take note of those things and not allow them to rule our lives, because you start walking around carrying that energy, carrying the energy of the fact that you feel unworthy, or you feel unimportant, you feel not enough, and you go into every relationship with those thoughts, you go into friendships with those thoughts, and with everything that happens, you link it back to, anyway, I knew that I was unworthy, therefore that's why this is happening. So Jay's video made me think long and hard about the conversation that I have with myself in my head. What am I telling myself? When last did I celebrate myself? For me, celebrating myself is one of my areas areas of improvement, I hardly celebrate myself. And I'm not talking about humongous achievements, like I don't know, like I completed my masters or whatever. I'm talking about the small little things, everyday things. Like yesterday I was able to listen to 3 podcasts and read 3 pages from one of the books that I'm reading, which is a big achievement for me, considering that there's a lot of business happening in my life. So for me to be able to take time out to do the things that I want to do and I enjoy, not only brings me joy, but it's something to celebrate. So for me, that was one of the things, and so many more came up. My challenge for you this week is to take note of what is going on in your mind about yourself, the thing that I've been seeing this whole video. Take note of the conversations that you have with yourself in your mind. What are the things that are playing around in your mind that you have about yourself? Have you created negative scenarios, worst case scenarios about yourself? Do you tell yourself, are you too hard on yourself? Are you too critical on yourself? I think it's important for us to take note of those things. Yes, for ourselves, but for the relationships that we have around us. The truth is, no one is perfect, we're all flawed, but it's important for us to stay positive and have a mental note of the kind of person that we want to become and start working to become that person. For example, if I want to become more of a forgiving person to myself and others, I now need to look at the script. I now need to review the script that I have about forgiveness in my mind. Do I keep telling myself that I'm not a forgiver, it's hard for me to forgive, because I keep creating that reality, I keep putting it out there, I keep creating it day by day. Do you know what I mean? So I hope that made sense, and thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.